Hey everybody, this is Jason the teacher, and today I want to talk about something that I wrote down on ultrasensory perception, and I wrote it on a couple of them, sight and touch. I'm going to go ahead and read it, and then I'm going to explain it a little bit more, but here goes. Ultrasensory perception on sight. Let me move that. Alright. On sight, you begin by being able to see in the dark. You can practice this during the day with your eyes closed or at night using only moonlight to learn how to navigate through your house. The next step is confronting night walkers or spirits that walk around on other frequencies in and around your house, as well as outside on the streets, fields, and office complexes, not just in cemeteries. Now, you gotta understand what that part means is that you got other people that are living in other frequencies that are walking around the planet, and understanding that whenever you're in the dark, all these frequencies are turned on, not off. The reason why it appears black or dark is because you're actually living in a static mode, which is actually all frequencies combined. So it looks like static whenever you're walking around in the dark. But when you practice doing this in the dark, learning your house in the dark, and it helps you upgrade your other senses as well, including your sight. It makes your sight even better. And then you'll be able to notice that you'll be able to see the objects in the dark, even if it's pitch black, because remember that the electrons actually are giving off light as well at the atomic level. And if your sight is upgraded to the point where you can sense those vibrating molecules and you can see them, that the matter actually gives off light as well, then you'll know that you've upgraded your sight. Now, whenever you're coming in front of people, there's people walking everywhere in and out of your bandwidth. So you'll see people that are walking around in your room, or you might even see the dark terrestrials. Dark terrestrials beings are like the higher angels that live in dark frequencies, because they're building in silent mode. They build orbs around the universe, but they use Earth as a junction point in creation of those things. Because if you understand that everything is one with everything, then you'll begin to realize that there are other people that are living in your space, in your area. So, because you are a combination of everything in one, as a temple, also as an ultra-dimensional gateway, because you are passing people through you as well. And people and other spiritual beings are experiencing your reality just as real as you are experiencing your reality. And it allows connection from the astral plane to visit other worlds and actually step into other people's being. So you're actually playing a spiritual guide to someone else when you're on the astral plane, if you visit other worlds or anything like that. But you will, in the beginning process, you're going to experience this. Whenever you're in bed, you'll keep your eyes open and stay attentive to what's actually in front of you, not just what the stuff is in your room. Because if you focus your eyes, or like cross your eyes, you can see in depth. You're actually using your depth perception to see things that you can't perceive with your other senses, but you can perceive it with your eyes. And you'll begin to realize that you're actually walking into other people's existence as well. And it's not just the walls in your house that are there either. there's other upgrades that you get when you do this. Now, the next step is confronting night walkers or spirits that walk around on other frequencies in and around your house, as well as outside in the streets, fields, offices, complexes, not just in cemeteries. They appear to be as ghosts. They might look like ghosts, but they are not ghosts. They are real people just like you and me that walk around in the past, present, and future. Now, they are yourselves in the past, present, and future. And it includes all aliens, all insects, all everything. Sometimes you might see a bug flying around your room and it's not really a bug, it's a dark terrestrial passing by. But, and you also start seeing scary faces come at you to try to scare you or spook you. And then, I know it's October, it's so, but anyways, Mardi Gras is coming around. The next level of sight is by using your third eye chakra right between your eyes on your forehead, and then you'll be able to experience being able to see through walls, see through the walls in your house, and you see the objects behind the walls, and then so on and so forth. That's another ability that you get if you're awake and practicing around in the dark. Then you'll start to begin to see through objects too as well. That's for higher psychics, but realize everyone is a psychic, so everyone has the same abilities. It just takes time and practice to earn these abilities, to learn them, not earn them. You earn them whenever you practice. So you also will begin to experience off-world events like visiting other planets, even the sun and other star systems as well. But these abilities should be done at home in bed, for they are meditative states of mind, and your physical body will project as an energy body entering the astral realm, where other light beings and the dark beings, as well as friends and families, come to meet and have gatherings. Now, you notice sometimes you'll have a dream where you're at a party, you don't understand where you're at. You're actually having an astral realm meeting with other people, other beings of light and dark, that come to converse and gather and have fun. You know, everybody has evolved to a positive state of being happy all the time. So try not to bring any negative frequency with you. You probably won't have it with you when you're astral projecting, because you're not really aware of what's going on. You're appearing at different spots of this planet. Sometimes you'll have an extraterrestrial experience where you might be abducted or something like that. But that's another kind of sight. That's the sight that you use when you're asleep at home because in 3D, your 3D body can't travel with you, so you have to be at a meditative state to experience this. You'll be learning how to fly and do many things that do not occur in the physical world. Having this kind of sight takes much learning and practice, but like they always say, practice makes perfect. There are other ways you can use your sight, like seeing temperatures change from red to blue, using a color spectrum of your knowledge that you have. You can project, you're projecting colors to associate other meanings of things with your sight. So your color spectrum doesn't ever change. It's just that the properties for those colors to show off of other material things or objects in the matter universe, you would have to slide the spectrum over a little bit. So everybody has their own spectrum of color, which I'll talk about later. Having this kind of sight makes practice makes perfect. There are other ways you can use your sight, like seeing temperatures change and seeing negative energies among your body and other people as well. So using your sight could help save someone's life. Auras will be another trait that you can possess in seeing others in a different light. There are people that can see auras um, you know, the vibrations coming off of people. Mine, my buddy tells me I have a really large red aura, and then I have all the other colors coming out. Sight is the first and most important sense of our bodies. The next is touch. And with the sight thing, you'll begin to see through objects and things. You'll be able to see you'll be able to associate negative energies with positive energies, and then you'll be able to see things or illnesses in your body. Like, say if you have a cold or something, you might get a negative energy in your stomach area, or maybe up in the brain area, over in the crown chakra. And people learn, there are some chi masters out there that know how to manipulate energies and for healing, and it actually works in those parts of those countries. So the next thing is touch, and the touch one is pretty cool. I've already had my own experience with the sense of touch, but when it comes to the technology of sense of touch, there are some high-tech abilities that you can acquire with the sense, especially on the astral plane. So if you are an astral traveler and you know about visiting other planets, then you will know what I'm talking about whenever I start talking about it. From flying and walking through an infinite number of walls and doors, touch can be the ultimate tool for infiltration and obtaining long-kept secrets of the physical realm. Meaning that you can, on the cousin side of astral projecting, there is another form of travel outside your body called remote viewing. And basically what that is it was actually used as a government experiment for gaining intelligence from the CIA, because the CIA was keeping a lot of secrets from the government. They try to operate on their own turf. They usually get the information from the NSA, which records all the information that goes online or in a text message, or any signal that is produced from technology is recorded in this database. Basically, the CIA came up with a project called remote viewing. And what they would do is they would have a psychic or a person sitting in a room, and they would close their eyes and they would be induced into a hypnotic state by a psychiatrist or a psychologist or psychiatrist or whatever. And what this person would be hypnotized, while he was hypnotized, he would be outside of his body, and then he would be given orders to do a certain thing or an objective, and it would be like maybe to go to somebody's house and read a letter that they're writing. Maybe they're writing a secret letter to somebody, and what that person does, that's remote viewing, goes ahead and reads the letter at the base where they're being hypnotized at. He's telling the psychiatrist what he's seeing, and what happens is he writes down the information, and then that's how they get their secrets. That's how they get their information. They go and spy on other people in their house or anywhere they're at in the world. All they have to do is think about that person, and they will be attracted to that person by laws of attraction. But it's weird how they do that. But that's how crazy the CIA is. They have the power to do that. When they discovered that they had this power to be able to go to someone's house, walk through their wall or their door, that they can spy on other people and not just use the technology that we have. Some people have come up with excuses like they got cameras inside the DVD boxes or stuff like that. They actually discovered, there's people that have discovered cameras being put in cable boxes, I remember a ways back, which was pretty interesting, because that kind of spyware that they have for the cameras and stuff is nothing compared to what they really have. And what they really have is something special. They have these psychics in these bases, underground or above ground. It doesn't matter where. They could have it in an office building down the road from your house right now. Having him astral project back into the physical reality, but they call it remote viewing and not astral projection, because astral projection deals with off-world events and also future events that are planned to manifest down into 3D, which is other topics that I can explain later. From flying to walking through infinite walls and doors, touch can be the ultimate tool for infiltration and obtaining long-kept secrets of the physical realm. This level of consciousness brings us to the shade realm, and I call this the shade realm down here in 3D because there is certain technology that you can upgrade your shades. I have a pair of shades. Mine broke, but I can get a new pair. The shade realm is a place that looks exactly like Earth in 3D, except the differences are that, including the people in 3D that are unaware that the soul travelers are constantly switching from controlling one person and then another, also known as body hopping. And also these entities that are there, they look dark but look like static on a TV set. So whenever you were looking at me, it would be like looking at this. Just a complete shadow. And it looks like, they look like they're static, but they're moving so fast in between people that you can't really see them. They're called soul travelers. I call them soul travelers. There's actually a movie called The Soul Travelers, but the title of the movie actually means something else. The soul travelers are actually souls, lost souls, in a realm where they don't know what their identity is. They don't have an identity. So what they do is they hop from one person to the other. They body hop from one person to the other, and their only function is to hop from one person to the other. And there's multiple souls. I call it the shade realm because you see shadows moving all over the place from one person to the other. Everyone is asleep, so they don't know what's going on. They don't really see that they're being temporarily possessed and then moved to another identity. These souls, they're just an entity of its own. They're actually the basic processing unit of the system. Here, I'll show you. They have no identity because they are only programs of the system that make up 3D from sending and using light messaging from 5D and above. So really what they're doing is they're getting this information from above, and then they're using that information to send and receive messages from above and down below. It goes up and down, not just up. I forgot about it. We're living on a null. We're living in a null area, which is like in the middle, and we're walking on top while there's other people walking on the bottom. Probably. I don't know if the hollow earth theory is correct or not, but they keep switching it up on me, so I don't know which is what. They are only because they are programs and that are unaware of the astral realm. They are unaware, they aren't tied, they're only tied to the systematic matrix that has them untied. Oh, okay, let me read that again. Sorry. They have no identity because they are only programs of the system that make up 3D from sending and using light messaging from 5D and above. So 5-dimensional beings and up, and higher are sending messages down here, system protocols and stuff like that. That send using light messaging from 5D and above. Because they are programs that are unaware of the astral realm and are only tied to the systematic matrix that has them untied to the rules of time, which means they have no sense of time. They're running at such a high speed frequency that they don't even have any sense of time. So they are living one moment to another and not knowing that those moments are going by because their memory is only fit for one bit of information. It has them untied to the rules of time and can be caught by us who experience witnessing them at work around the system world of 3D Earth, the physical realm. Now, to be able to see this going on, you have to be mindful that you are a high dimensional being, a high frequency being, should I say, not a dimension. Everyone has their own dimension, okay, in their own reality, as you can see here. But the difference is that we are conscious and we are aware, and when you develop a sense of upgraded, if you have upgraded mind and you've upgraded your light body and your energy body and your physical body as one, and you become one to experience this going on in the shade realm, which is what I call the shady realm, the shade realm, where you see people being used by other programs because you are a higher frequency being and you are down here accessorizing everything, or accessing everything. I'm like, accessorize everything, accessing everything in the systems, and being able to see these secrets going on. Being able to see that with that kind of sight is very, very a privileged power to have. And I only visit the shade realm every now and then. And so far I've visited it about 2 or 3. This would be the second time that I actually seen it going on. Keeping myself at 9D and 3D at the same time is pretty hard to do. I had to degrade myself so I wouldn't have to see this, because I'd probably drive myself crazy watching people running by, watching shade programs doing the same thing, the shady ones. Or the dark entities, the dark terrestrials at work at a high speed. I know that's pretty crazy stuff. Alright, who work around this, caught by us, who experience witnessing them at work around the system world of 3D Earth, the physical realm. So it's the shady realm is actually a combination of the physical realm and the dark terrestrial realm all in one, all stacked on top of each other, except you're using dark frequencies as sending messages. And light does not come from 3D, it comes from another dimension. Light is the fourth dimension, which creates time. So by learning the rules that these energetic programs follow, we can mimic them by masking or suiting up just like these static bodies, and begin to command the power of moving in any direction, no matter the wall, door, mountain, or even the ground rules decay in front of you. You begin to become a soul traveler. Being like one of them, you start to lose your own identity as well, because it fills so much of your memory that you'll begin to forget your current lifetime. So you have to be careful when you do things like this. This is what I'm about to tell you. You begin to become a soul traveler by seeing others walking around still asleep, and those people that are still asleep are the people that are in 3D with a 3D mindset. That means they are unaware of the other dimensions above them and below. You begin to become a soul traveler, seeing others walking around still asleep, and behold, you begin to have the ability to step into their shoes and become overloading yourself system control, and finding yourself propelled through all the sleepers' bodies in 3D, which means you have to be careful when you're in observation mode and you're watching other people in 3D, because if you step into their shoes by walking up behind them and then looking through their eyes, your system, your mind becomes overloaded, because you're combining your own experience with what you know with that person, and you can only be there temporarily. So what happens is the system overloads. And what it does is it pushes you out of that person's body, and it causes you to spin around the earth, because light is being bent around in a circle so it can be used again and recycled. That's what we call recycling. But we recycle that energy back to where it was supposed to be, before you before you stepped into that person's shoes. Um, because whenever you step in that person's shoes, you cascade all over the place. And what happens is you're hopping from one body to another, to another, to another, but you're doing it at very fast frequency. So at one moment you could be eating at a restaurant, one moment you'd be in the bathroom, another moment you'd be putting makeup on, looking in the mirror, you look like somebody else because you're soul traveling. That's what soul traveling is. But after a while of you spinning around cascading, you'll begin to knock back into your original self, where you were observing before you walked in that person's body. And that goes with the experience of Superman whenever he ran around the world to rewind time. That's basically what happens. You kick back the system, and what happens is the system splits like a broken record, and it skips until you get back into your spot where you're supposed to be. Because remember, you never move, but at the same time, when you try to move and you move into somebody else's space, you get confused and you confuse the whole system. It kind of overloads the whole thing when you do that. Causes everything to skip like a record, like I'm talking right now. Anyways, you begin to become a soul traveler by seeing others walking around still asleep and behold the ability to step into their shoes and become overloading yourself system control and finding yourself propelled through all the sleepers' bodies in 3D until you smack inside your original body again. Oh, that's all I got written on touch. But also with touch, whenever you fly, you can fly through objects, you can fly through walls, you can actually fly through planets and stars. That's because that's only above 90, or yeah, above 9 dimensions. Once you hit the 9th dimension and above, you don't worry about much of what's in between. All you really remember much about is being in 3D, the 3D realm, and being above 9 and above. You don't worry about 8, 7, 6, 5. All those other lower dimensions are hop skipped over. It's kind of like leapfrogging technology in your mind. So, but anyways, that's my video. I hope you liked it. But anyways, stay safe. It's going to be Halloween soon, so trick or treat and stay safe. And be nice to everybody, alright? Namaste and Lakesh, and remember now, don't be mean, play nice.